Speaker, I would like to offer my congratulations to the Prime Minister on winning the election and being returned to office. And I want to pay tribute to those members from my party particularly who sadly lost their seats in the election and therefore will not be here. In particular, well, there are many who can remember, but obviously Dennis Skinner is somebody that comes very much to mind on this occasion. And the Prime Minister in the campaign made many promises and therefore has tremendous responsibilities to live up to. He'll be judged on whether he keeps those promises or not by the communities that he's made them to. Our job in the Labour Party will be to hold this government to account and stand up for the communities that we represent and for the more than 10 million people that voted for our party in the general election, because that is what parliamentary democracy is about, holding government to account and representing the people that have sent us here on their behalf. Can I also, Mr Speaker-elect, offer my congratulations to the Honourable Member for Worthing West on taking up his position of Father of the House. I first encountered him in the Woolwich West by-election in 1975. I was a trade union organiser at the time, and I made a very strong recommendation to all of my members of the union that they should vote for the Labour candidate and not him. Some of them went to see him and came back, and it was really quite embarrassing. They said, "He seems such a very nice man. We might well vote for him." So I don't want to further tarnish his reputation by saying that some years ago, whenever I was trying to get an all-party consensus together on an early day motion, sometimes a difficult task, he would often give it a Conservative character by supporting such moves. I want to thank him for that and wish him well as Father of the House. Can I take this opportunity to welcome all newly elected members to the House? It is a very daunting day for them, first day to be elected here on behalf of your constituents and all the responsibility that goes with it. There is no greater honour than to be elected to this House to represent your constituents. And one of the greatest strengths of our political system is that every one of us represents a community. Every one of us has a constituency. We're there to represent the homeless and the desperate, as well as those that are better off and lead more comfortable existences. We are there to represent all of them, and that surely ought to be the watchword of our House and our democracy. This is the first time a majority of Labour MPs are women, and I congratulate all of them that's been elected. And 20 of the 26 newly elected Labour MPs are women, something that compares rather favourably to the performance of the Conservative Party in this election. This is also, Mr Speaker-elect, the most diverse Parliament in history, and I'm proud that 41 of the 65 black and minority ethnic MPs are on the Labour benches, and I know they will do a fantastic job representing their constituencies and wider community interests. And finally, Mr Speaker, I want to offer my warmest congratulations to you as you resume your place in the Speaker's chair. It's great to see you back. Your role goes beyond the pomp and the ceremony, and that's something you very well understand. And I'm keen to work with you, as many others are, on all the other issues facing this House. This House can't function without member staff, House staff, security, administration, caterers, cleaners and officials that do so much good work here. They all make a contribution to ensure our democracy functions properly. But there's also enormous pressure on MPs, on staff and many others, and I know that you take very seriously the mental health and well-being of all of us, and I hope in this House we will ensure that that is the case. Can I just conclude, Mr Speaker, with this? In your House there are portraits of many of your predecessors, indeed all of your predecessors have portraits all around there. And one of the most famous is, of course, Speaker Lenthal, who resisted the autocracy of Charles I in support of the freedoms of Parliament. Our democracy needs you, Mr Speaker, as a Speaker who will stand firm against abuses of power by the executive or by anybody else. In doing so, you're not just defending the rights of this House, but the rights of millions of people who put their faith in a democratic system to elect a parliament and therefore a government that is answerable to them. Our rights and freedoms are always precious, but also often precarious. Democracy is not a given. It's something we have to extend and defend. And I'm sure you, in your role as Speaker-elect and hopefully Speaker very soon, will do exactly that.